The tweeter-in-chief is at it again. Here's what he said yesterday. The failing New York Times has disgraced the media world. Gotten me wrong for 2 solid years. Changed libel laws? So this is now roughly time number 13,912, where the president is threatening to crack down on freedom of the press and free speech and free protest. So we've gone over this a million times before, but I'll go over it a million more because I don't feel like this is discussed enough. Remember, Donald Trump is the person who sued Bill Maher over a joke. Bill Maher was making the point that Donald Trump questions where Obama is born way too much. And so Maher made a joke saying, I think that Donald Trump is the son of his mother and an orangutan. And he would need to prove that he's not, because this is what Trump would always say about Obama. He needs to prove that he's American. And then Obama would release his short-form birth certificate, and then his long-form birth certificate, and then a fucking announcement in the Hawaii newspaper about when he was born, announcing it. And then Trump would just move the goalposts. I want to see his college records. His college records would maybe prove it. And so Maher said, oh, how about you prove it? So you could just make up any theory. Okay, Obama's not born in America, and then all of a sudden now you're demanding the evidence of that. But wait, you're the one who made the claim, so don't you have to prove isn't the burden of proof on you? So that's what Maher did. Oh, you're the love child of your mother and an orangutan. Now prove me wrong. And Trump was like, okay, I'm going to sue you and in court because I'll show you I'm not my dad is not an orangutan. Oh, come on, man. What kind of a petty loser does that? You're suing the guy over a joke. Are you kidding me? How much time do you have where you're like, I'm really offended by this. I'm going to take you to court because my feelings are hurt. Man, child, he's a comedian. That's what he does. He makes jokes. Oh, my God. He sued Bill Maher over a joke. He threatened to sue The Onion over a satire piece. It was a little too mean, and it hurt Donnie's feelings. So he's like, write a letter to them. He told his lawyers, write a letter to them saying we're going to sue them. They have to take that down. Then he also said that we should have England's laws on free speech. Now, remember, in England, they're a lot stricter. They're a lot stricter with what you can and can't say. That opens the door to hate speech legislation. Now, in the U.S., there are very few exceptions to the First Amendment. I mean, you can't do libel, you can't do slander, and you can't do direct threats of violence. But pretty much outside of that, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Now, again, it's a lot stricter in England. But Trump says, I like it when it's stricter. I like it when people can say less. That would be a horrible precedent. America, in many ways, especially when it comes to this issue, we're uniquely free. We still have our problems, don't get me wrong. Ask Edward Snowden about that, okay? But in terms of domestically, what you can and can't say, it's freer than anywhere else on the planet. Donald Trump does not like that. And then, of course, he just recently was talking about how we should ban flag burning because there was an anti-Donald Trump protest at some college campus, and some students burned a flag. And he's like, well, we should maybe stop this. We should maybe, this should be illegal, against the law. Now, by the way, you know who else joined him in that? I'm going back years now, I think in the early 2000s. Hillary Clinton. Well done, Hillary. So, if flag burning is bad, so, like, we should get rid of it. No, look, patriotism isn't not burning a flag. Patriotism is understanding that you live in a country that's free enough to allow you to burn the flag without putting your ass in a cage. That's real patriotism. Oh, we allow dissenting voices. We allow all different opinions. And you don't get to say, I love freedom, and I love liberty, and I love the Constitution, and then in the next sentence say, change libel laws. Change libel laws. And let's be clear. Donald Trump, in his mind, he just wants to police when people say bad things about him. It's so clear with the kind of person that he is, with how thin-skinned he is. It's not like, he wants to change the libel laws, open up the libel laws, as he said on the campaign trail. because he's really concerned about people on his team also maybe saying the wrong thing about people on the other side. No, he doesn't give a fuck about that. It's all about, oh, did you hurt my feelings? Did you say the wrong thing about me? I want to be able to police that. So this segment is paging all free speech warriors. Now, how many times have I done a segment where I go after people on the left, on college campuses, when they get too goofy and way too authoritarian, and they, for example, try to get anti-Black Lives Matter posters pulled down on campuses. So, in other words, there was a right-wing, I forget which school it was, but there was a right-wing group that put up posters that said, "Unborn Lives Matter." It was a play off Black Lives Matter and a pro-life message. Now, I don't agree with those people politically because they want to ban, abortion and any kind of birth control. They want to nip it in the bud. They don't even want to allow you to take the morning after pill or Plan B. But isn't that the same thing? That might be the same thing. So I'm against them politically, but you should be able to hang those posters on a campus. I don't care about that. And liberal college kids are like, let's pull it down. Pull it down now. No, that's wrong. You got to allow people to say, even if you disagree with people, you got to allow them to speak. Every time there's a protest of Ben Shapiro, who I probably disagree with on everything, every time there's a protest of Milo Yiannopoulos, the king troll himself, I say, let him talk. Let him talk. I hate these guys. You know why I hate these guys? I listen to him talk. So I don't know what you're afraid of. Let him talk, and then people go, oh, that guy's a douche, and then they leave. And they go have a sandwich. So I'm consistent on this. I'm a real free speech warrior. I've gone after the left and the right-wing social justice warriors. But I guarantee you, everybody who fancies themselves a free speech advocate, a free speech warrior, somebody who's against those darn social justice warriors who are ruining these college campuses, fucking crickets. You're going to hear crickets. Because they ain't going to do dick. They're not going to speak up against this, even though, again, Donald Trump is the ultimate right-wing social justice warrior. You know you're that when you're suing people over a joke. If it was a liberal college campus kid suing somebody because their feelings got hurt over a joke, you would never hear the end of it. But when it's the President of the United States, not only do they say nothing about it, they still pretend like he's a free speech warrior. And then, like, oh, yeah, he's for civil liberties and freedom. Damn snowflakes. No, he's the snowflake. He's the snowflake. So please, come on, wake up, everybody here. If you can't acknowledge that he's a right-wing social justice warrior and he's the right-wing PC police, you are so immensely biased that it's comical.